Also, it'd help if I unmute channel 2.
I will not comment on this.
Fair enough.
It's nice having you guys with us. If you guys want to take it away here in Polar, you guys both know these two teams, both KSG and DSC, pretty. You guys have scrimmed with them and stuff. You guys have over the year, so you guys have some insight into what these teams are good at and what they're not. What do you think might be happening this week? For this first elimination match. Also, we almost forgot to say that the losers of today's games go home.
It'll be
And the
interesting.
winners advance.
Yeah, the winners
It'll
will
be
advance.
interesting. I think what I can say is that these teams have shown in scrims that they're a lot more flexible than what you may have seen in previous matches. So for both of them, I'd say this is very much up in the air, and if one of them prepared to counter exactly what the other team did in previous matches, then they might not exactly find success with that, since there might be changes.
Now, both these teams have been playing a lot of range this Worlds, haven't they?
So KSG has really already even played quite a bunch of different things. So they played against KDCM in their first two matches. So first against KDCM 18 and then against KDCM 17. And so on both those matches, they played almost always full receive and range. And then they played against Abens, which we really saw a complete mixed bag. And I would say that if they were hiding strats and defaulting a lot, they would do that against the KDCM teams. And that Abens was them trying their absolute hardest and bringing out their strongest strats. So they've shown that they can push on Hibernal. They've shown that they can cap strat. They can play mining very dynamically. So pretty much the standard toolset that you need as a team in order to be flexible. And I think they've shown that whatever they come up with, they can play it pretty well. What do you think, Audus?
Just real quick, I'm heading us over to the map.
Okay. I don't know the DSC team very well, but based on what Castellon has studied them well, tells me about them. It looks like DSC are trying to play trade decks, but based on Castellon's strategy, they always ended by pushing. So Castellon force DSC to push on the long range decks, and it will be painful for them. As for Polars, we can talk about maps right now or not? We have time for that. Guys?
Sorry, we're getting the map amp set up for the two teams in lobby. Apologize about that.
I'm sending you the link for viewing. You can see it as it goes.
Oh,
okay.
Let's see if we see some interesting first picks again. I mean, I would assume that the default first pick would be Vitric, but there might be some. Well, we've seen already last week that some teams chose to pick Hibernal. I think even Polar once.
Polar in the previous weeks was always either 4 or 5. And then last week we saw it in the first 3 picks. It was it was number 1 in one game, I think second pick in a game, and then third pick in 2.
I think that's a phenomenon that's like due to the fact that teams are getting more flexible now that we're further into the tournament. So it matters little. Like early on in the first elimination round, there can often be a big factor of, oh, this is a map that suits our playstyle, or it's a map that doesn't suit our opponent's playstyle. And then you pick that first so you can get ahead on wins in your best of 5, which is a huge mental advantage. And I think as you go deeper in the tournament, the teams become better, and that at this level mostly means you become more flexible. So there's not really that much of a difference anymore whether you play mining or whether you play polar. So it becomes less about which maps suit you as a team and more about which maps or which sides you want. So therefore we see maps like polar or Vitric. And again, we see that polar was picked first, I think, and Vitric second.
First,
Crimson,
Vitric,
yes.
and then Polar. Yep.
Crimson is interesting because it is one of the two non-symmetrical maps.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested that one goes first. But as you said, it's about getting that side right, especially on that. So get that one out of the way. Be my guess. There we go. Bernal fourth, and then mining for the finale. Should we get there?
Has anyone picked mining like voluntarily yet? I think we brought up the notes on it before, but
well, in previous weeks, it was one of the first couple of maps always played. With Vitric, consistently this Worlds has been, I think, always first three maps. One of the first three. Maybe just a couple outliers, but I don't know. It shocked me with how popular it's gotten amongst teams, even in the comp queue. It was popular and people really played the heck out of it. It was like you most of your matches with either polar, hibernal, or Victric with you weren't, or sorry, not polar, but mining. And still, mining was at least in the comp queue was probably played half the time. I think DPS alone, it was 40% of our matches was on mining.
I think especially teams who qualified to comp queue, like a lot of the time in comp queue, you pick 3 maps that you're good at, and then you ban the other 2 every match. Especially for teams that struggle to qualify, so seed 9 through 12. And then when you play in the knockout format, of course you're going to vote those maps first. And those almost always are the usual favorites. I mean, mining, I think, has been in every single world championship.
Yeah.
Since I've been around, at least.
Well, Canyon used to be. But there became so many alternatives to Canyon. But mining, there's still nothing like it.
I think some version of Hibernal or Canyon has also always been in.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense. Although, word is that they're gonna tweak mining, so it's soon to be the most hated map in MWO since it's about.
I don't know.
Oh,
well, I don't think it's going to change during this World Championship.
No.
Couple it might right after December patch. Let's go.
It honestly, the tweaks seem minor enough that I don't see the rumored tweaks in any case seem minor enough that I can't imagine it being a big deal. But we shall see.
So we have Team 2 picked from DSC for Crimson as well.
Yep. So DSC gets Team 2 on Crimson and Hibernal so far, and then Team 1 on Polar.
I think it's match time.
No. We need to find out what the teams are on mining first.
Oh, they haven't picked that yet? I thought they already did.
Nope.
They're so slow.
I know, they're taking their time on this one, yeah.
Let's see which one of them gets to pick Team 2 on mining.
Ooh, we're thinking about it real hard.
I think that Casterian is not very ready for mining, as far as I can tell.
There we go.
He is not since he is not so good at raid setups. So,
all right. Our selection is complete. All right.
KSG does have Team 2 mining.
Casterian Guards is
the blue,
needs
right?
to be Team 1 right here. Yep.
Yeah.
Swap the sides real quick. Scoot you guys back to map room momentarily.
All right, side swapped.
Yep.
All right, I'll give the countdown timer.
Oh, I got that. I'll take care of it.
All right.
Because I got to change the map as well. Where is it? There it is. All right, and their timer starts now. I'm going to send you guys over to the map room.
Let's talk strats, boys.
Time to leak all of our strats for the upcoming matches. What do you think?
Right. You thought you were going to get a prediction on KSG. No, we're getting definitive
Definitive EQ strats. Let's go.
That's right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
we're
our
all
strat
ears.
here. I'll show you. So we're going out here, and then you're sending a light mech here, and you're getting their back up like this. This is the special EQ strat.
That is a top tier play. Use the the newly implemented wraparound feature where
So all you do is you run 5 seconds out, 5 seconds back, 5 seconds out, 5 seconds back, and you set the out of bounds timer the entire time. And
is this water
KDCM
deeper?
So you don't get shot.
Right. Yes.
Wait, is this water deeper? Can we start hiding locusts and fleas in it?
If I knew, I wouldn't tell you.
Good answer. Good answer.
All right, but what are we actually expecting to happen here?
Yeah, so we've got KSG on which side are they on here? They're team 1, so they're on the EPSI side.
Involuntarily.
Yes, this is true.
So that's the more interesting part is why might DSC, since on this map sides actually do matter, why might DSC pick Team 2 on this map? And
usually pushy teams will want it, right?
Because they're either sending it. Sorry, that's a shit. They're either sending it, something like this, or they're sending a lot of mechs over the saddle to Theta. Because really, Team 1 gets to see how many you send, so if you send like 1 or 2, they can fight you there. But if you just send like 6 or 7, what are they gonna do? Who cares if they know that you've sent 6 or 7 mechs there?
Well, theoretically, then they sneak around to Sigma, right? And then you've got 3 against you, if they're quick enough on the draw.
Well, Sigma is relatively easy to retake, unless they've also taken Island, in which case, from Team 1, Island is semi-hard to hold. So, and I'd say if you move up to Island with your traders here, as Team 1, you can lose Gamma, since you don't have Overwatch over it anymore. So I do think there's counters to pushing 7 mechs to Theta, but also I think those are the 2 main options. I would prefer to be Team 2 on, since for pushing it's a lot better over Island.
Now DSC
that makes sense to me.
In previous matches they had a Royal Star, last guy alive, doing cap stuff. I'm assuming they'll send him to Theta for sure. I don't think I've ever seen DSC do like stacking a whole bunch of mechs this way. I think if we've seen them do a few, like 2 to 3, but I don't think we've ever seen more than that from them at least.
What you do if you have a player like that, because they're clearly invincible, you send them in first, and you hope that the enemy team shoots them, so that you don't actually take damage and they're invincible, they won't die.
Alright, Team 1 has locked 4 in Charlie, 1 Bravo, 3 Alpha.
And as much as that sounds like a joke, it's not really a joke even. If you have someone who you know will instinctively play for their own survival and do their best not to die, you actually want to send them in first. Because somehow they'll most often find a way to survive, and then you have, if they shoot them to 1 touch and then they run away to cap, then they've wasted a bunch of damage.
Now, with 4 and Charlie, that suggests 4 going this way, doesn't it? Maybe 1 breaking off for the Gamma cap?
4 and Charlie. Charlie could mean a lot of things. You want to be Charlie if you want to go anywhere. I'd say here. You'd want to be Charlie for anywhere in that area, so...
Okay, so if you're going to go to this half of the map.
I mean, realistically, that probably just indicates that's where their wolf pack is going to be, because we've got the 3 traders in Alpha that are going to, go over Epsi, see what's going on, and maybe take Island. And then, that is an accurate circle for where they're going to go.
So JB is usually a light mech. Mokra, I think, has been their Shadowcat main this season. Dared is a light pilot. So yeah, that does look like there's light pack going Theta.
DSC moving everyone to Alpha Charlie. Interesting. Charlie is probably their Kappa Lance, probably heading towards Theta and stuff. That's probably the Wolfpack. With Royal there, that's definitely the Wolfpack and Fire Ant.
Well, can I say, objectively, Castellon has 2 strategies. So one has always his practice is a direct push across the island. What they see has a rather strong long. The second one is options is to go all-in to the Theta, and they have a good chances here because they have a good light pilots, as Kosti said already. So I believe it could be a full push from the Castellon to Theta to force DSC to push the island on the long-range setups, as I said before, because, we play with the Castellon on the scrims, and they mastered exactly this strategy, actually. It's a little inside, but from another drop, from the Team 2. So they send they light pack like this, and send only 5 heavy mechs to the island. I believe it's only Marauder. So I think it could be something like that, but from another drop. I don't think that Castellon want to just play a defensively game with only 5 lights on the Theta.
Gotcha.
All right.
Well, both teams have locked.
Both teams ready. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and launch. I've begun streaming into the Discord since I realized we forgot to do that.
All right.
And we are off. Yeah, I still got to figure out what's going on with the crunch in that stinger. I realized that last week as I was watching. And it really does sound like a blue screen. So sorry, everybody. We'll get that fixed eventually.
Leave it as the Easter egg for how many times the MWO comp streams have crashed over the years.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it is. Let's see. Where's the sun here? Up there. That is kind of a weird place to put it. It's so dull, and there's not really any clouds in front of it.
Wait. Is that the sun over there? No, it got.
I think so.
It got duller as I flew up to it.
Weird.
Look at the wrong thing.
Teams are here. I am over here with there we go. With Casterian's Guard. Looks like we've got ourselves Viper, Flea, Black Lantern, and Shadowcat. Gonna check some of those builds there. SRM's on the Lantern. 5 ER mediums, 8 light machine guns on Red's Viper there. Meanwhile, we've got ourselves a Hag 40 and ER large Mad Cat and Hag 60 ER large Marauder. And I'm missing one. Where are you? Here we go.
Enemy forces have Sigma.
Battlemaster 6 ER large. That's the other one. And they are chilling out at FC. All right, what do we got for Darkseid Corsairs?
All right, they have, of course, a Night Fighting Lantern, all the micros and small pulses. Fire Ants rocking a micro pulse Viper with heavy machine guns. We got House in a Spider, dual medium X pulse. Zelk, ERP Crusader, small lasers for backup. Serp Epic already taking some pot shots with 6 ER large Stalker. Royal rocking a Flea with a bunch of small pulse.
Artillery strike.
And Ivazovsky, I think I butchered that. He's running ER Larges and Goss on his Mad Cat, standard Mad Cat 1. And then they also have the Blood Ass Rancor, which is, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6 ER Larges and then a handful of Micropulse.
Yeah, so Ivazovsky and who's in the other one? Hollow. Are trading against old Hasu here, who's down 9%, Hollow down 7%. So honestly, pretty good trading from Hasu here. But we are about to get a little bit of fight. We probably had a little bit of a skirmish over here on Theta, but it's sort of 3-on-2 looking here with DSC's mechs on Theta right now. Royal Star and House.
I saw
hanging
Mokor
out
try
with
this
some
last week
Overwatch.
against Abins. He missed this jump multiple times, but I see why he made the jump. He was able to almost stop that Theta cap by shooting down into it.
And effectively he did. So JB and Jinto here pushing Fire Ant and Royal Star back with Red getting in on this. It is ultimately going to be 3-on-4 more or less.
Royal Star goes down. Oh, the Fire Ant is taking the fight. He's chasing the Lantern, but he's also getting chased himself by the Flea here by JB.
Yep. Mokor having this Overwatch is incredible right here for DSC's light pack. I'm sorry, that's KSG's light pack against DSC.
Fire Ant is about to get picked. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah,
both his legs dropped at the same time.
Yeah, Casterian going after House. I think House escapes in the fire, but I think they turn on the Indian in the Lantern.
They're going to lose the Lantern too.
3-on-1.
Oh,
yep. Trades, meanwhile, Corsairs taking the island against the traders. Hollow down here at 84%. Not doing so great
Indian
as they position themselves to cover and try to take out some of these KSG lights, but they're just not going to be able to do it.
KSG wiped out basically all of DSC's wolf pack for free. All these mechs are still relatively fresh, and they're going
70%, and absolutely, yeah. I don't think. Let's just do a quick checkup on that. A little toasty in the torsos for JB and an open leg for Red, but otherwise they're just fine. Now that Spider can still be super useful with that cap acceleration there, but I don't know that it's going to be much of a use in the fight against that entire wolf pack that now basically has reign of
Azavosky has lost one of his arms. That took a Gauss rifle. He still has all his lasers though and his side torso. The Hollow and his Rancor, he has just been eating damage. Both his side torsos are orange in the back.
And KSG closing, KSG closing here. Now that they have basically the whole map except for the island, we have Enova and Hasu starting to close on the island. They're probably going to take that high ground here, and we're going to get a wicked crossfire in just a few seconds here. Although Hollow and Zelkanizovsky are taking up some cover against that push, but with that mobility, it's going to become a problem really fast here. Poner just trying to pick away at the lights. Not a whole lot of shots,
just tried to kite. He took some pot shots into these lights over here. Looked like he was trying to kite them to follow him. They started to take the bait, but KSG smarter than that. They decided to hold. They're waiting for their bigs to get in position, and then I expect to watch both halves of this team crush the guys on the island.
Yeah, now Hasu getting a couple of shots in, or rather getting a couple shots against from Poner and one of the heavies over there. I almost want to think it was Zelk, but here comes the light pack here. They pick off Poner, and Ivazovsky probably next, although it could also be House. House running a little slow, probably legged in the water there.
Red goes down. Hollow is about to get back shot, and Nova's sneaking up behind him. Oh, he got that shot.
Yeah, there it goes. House finally goes down. The Spider, there goes Hollow. It's Ivazovsky and Zelk. Zelk's still pretty fresh, but a one on seven ain't gonna do it.
No.
As JB gets in here, Enova keeps smacking in, and this Mokor here. I'm interested to see Mokor's damage here. Having the Overwatch against the light fight around the back, and then just being able to keep firing across onto the island.
Mokor MVP on this drop for sure. Here. Getting that Shadow Cat up in that position and bullying the fight down below.
Yeah.
But DSC should not have took that fight. They should have just ran for their lives and maybe lost the mech, but they would have got out really injured, but they would have still had all their mechs to be able to still do something.
Yeah, looking at Mokor, 392, not as much as I thought he would have, honestly.
It's just a
but
couple
that's still
ERs.
not a bad showing. That's fine. It's enough. It was enough with that Overwatch to do some work. All right, I'm gonna send this over to the scoreboard real quick. Hopefully, it's updating today, which it looks like it is. So we can take a look at some of those. The team damage winner today is Gwentler with 14 team damage. Head on over to the map room. We'll pass it over.
Royal got slaughtered there. 7 damage. He didn't even get a full alpha off before he got the yeet. Big yeet in the sky.
All right. I'll set these guys up if you guys want to debrief. I'm over in the map room at the moment.
I mean, there's like 2 things I have really quickly. Is that the end brawl didn't matter at all. If House died there, that's it. That's the match. It's 4 caps to 1 with 4 assaults or 4 bigs left. There's a Bloodlust, a Stalker, a Crusader, and a Mad Cat. There's just nothing you can do on this map if you're 4 capped and you have no lights. So as soon as House even got legged, it was over. And then also I think I saw the Stalker have 1006 range, so that would be a TC8 Stalker with barely any heat sinks. So I think that's another point where they lost out on caps early, and then they had to push up because they had to get aggressive, and they just didn't have the builds for it.
It seems that Castellan decided to use a strategy of passing a lot of light on the Theta, as I said. And moreover, he even sent on heavy over the saddle to close the enemy lights on the saddle. Okay, to close enemy lights on the saddle. This is very similar to our strategy, which we also tried against him with the Goosey. However, he found a good point for the light, for the Shadow Cat, from which they can shoot the point tattoo, from a distance even before the enemy has go to attack. This is the influence of his new talented palace, I think, and it looks like Crimson finally turned it into a map about big lights bands.
I may or may not know where that spot came from.
Did you see?
I signed
Well,
for the this year.
Either way, I saw Mokor last week against Abins try it, right? He failed his jump twice trying to get up there. Ate almost 2 minutes off him being able to do other stuff. It was nice seeing him be able to get up there. He must have been practicing that jump. But yeah, he got up there and he immediately had... he was able to apply pressure and control over that entire section of the map. And even though he only had 2 lights down here to start with, that 3rd light by Gamma quickly reinforced this fight. And DSC just unfortunately got slaughtered over here.
DSC, so they lost their flea for free. I'm just rewatching this on the stream right now. So they lost their flea for free, and then they decided, okay, so we just lost a mech. Let's go in and lose 2 more. And instead of just bailing and trying to save, cut their losses, they tried to take the fight in a 2v5, and they lost 2 more mechs for it, which sucks. But again, them only sending 3 to Theta early or 2, it just, I don't know why they picked Team 2. If you're only gonna send 2 or 3, you'd want to pick Team 1 so that because it's a lot more safe to send only 2, since you have complete scouting of how many mechs KSG would be sending. Whereas if you pick Team 2, this is exactly what can happen to you, is KSG can send a lot of mechs, and if you only send 2, they know that you've only sent 2, they can come and gank you.
Yeah, that basically sums up exactly what happened. They saw they only had 2, and they got ganked for it. By the time DSC got any reinforcements to the fight was already lost. As you said, the flea unfortunately died for free. Firehand and his Viper at the same time decided to take that fight and chase the Lanner deeper into enemy territory. That's when we saw the rest of the team come in and try to help, and did not go well.
Which was a good move. If that's a 3v3, what FireEye did was great. But since it wasn't a fair fight, what it meant is that they committed to a fight that as a light pack, it's a fight they couldn't take. If he hadn't done that, they had to just run, and then if it was a 3v3, they could have maybe lost out on being able to win a fight there. So I think I get why. It didn't work out since they were outnumbered so heavily.
I will say, even looking, I know we spent a lot of focus on the light fight because it was so important to the fight. When I went back to look at the traders, seeing how damaged they were, the traders alone were getting devastated by KSG's traders over here. Then Hollow there at the end, or not Hollow, sorry, Innova? Yeah, Innova came around this back corner and then basically yeeted both the assaults in the back right here. Which, from a spectator point of view, is fun to watch, but as a pilot, that hurts. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be fair, anything after the lights die and like KSG's lights get back into the fight, is relatively inconsequential into like judging how well DSC traded against them, because it's a 7v5 at that point, and DSC are going to bleed more, even if they play equally as well. But I think looking at this, their percentages were a bit down. I think especially the Bloodhouse wasn't doing too well. There was more focus fire on KSG's side for sure.
That being said, let's take a quick look at Vitric, everybody's favorite map to draw on. Since
it's not my fault that half of the maps, half of the things I drew on this map happen to look like phallic. Okay, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
It's not fair that when mechs go up this way, and then Ghosty puts a mech up here too. You know what I mean?
Let's not put that there. So I don't know. I actually am not sure what to expect from these teams. You can hold back.
I know. I can't figure out some things. Well, the Casterians have greatly evolved their map control strategy lately, and now practice independent actions with their light group and the use of poke mech on the flanks, rather than building a rigid defense. For example, in Victory, they now use a kappa grab to